We should move. Ask yourself, what is my enemy doing right now? He who is on the offensive always has the advantage. To prepare for a defense, you must start defending early. I am not wrong. Then we shall suffer, but it will not be due to your actions. I am no simple service. We chose to follow you, whether we like it or not. A man carves his own destiny. If I shall suffer as a result, so be it. I am not in your place, and for that I am happy. You are not my enemy. Lurko is. If I was Lurko, I would try to kill you now. He has everything to lose if he does not. I am a free man. I do not follow. Our paths simply aligned. That is why I was there. I am here now, am I not?
Domine? Your frustration is natural, but I think the personal stakes involved cloud your mind. Surely you have solved more difficult riddles in your life. Know that we have done all we can. It is time to cast the die and see how it lands. I am no advocate, but when it comes to evidence, I doubt we can get more or better. Most certainly, taking any action is better than doing nothing. You should know this by now. I have lived a full and bountiful life. This old man has witnessed so many things. Certainly, there are some unresolved questions in my mind, but isn't life a series of unresolved questions anyway? Young man, I've been taking care of your family since long before you were born. Now focus on the task ahead and make sure they never need me again. If you think I've been following you because I'm your service, you're still a child in mine. I've been free for a long time now.
We are at the end now. I think we have enough evidence to get that bastard exiled forever. We will stride into the Pomerium as civilians once more, with pride in our eyes. That is not an option. We'll need to make sure everyone understands what happened. We cannot count on the facts to speak for themselves. They will certainly take some convincing. It is unfortunate that we had to kill a few Praetorians. But let us not forget the fact that they were criminals. What do you mean? Walk into Rome with swords in our hands? That would make us look like villains. Once upon a time, I knew the answer to that question. But after that whole mess with Rukia, I'm not so sure. It's been a pleasure, genuinely. You always stood by my side, even if it was against your own interests. I will never forget that.
This is a bad idea. Last time I saw Lurko, he was angry, but he was not in a panic. There's another trick up his sleeve. I'm certain of it. There is always a way. The years I've spent with you taught me that over and over again. It's what I would do. Lurko is a dangerous foe because he knows exactly when to lie and when to tell the truth. He will tell the Senate that we have murdered his entire Praetorian Guard. You know that's not a lie. I've seen no evidence to suggest the man has one. People will still be able to oppose you, and this time you'll have to kill a lot of people, not just those who deserve it. This time, our victims will be Roman. I'm good at killing people, and you somehow keep attracting people in need of killing. What I've done for you still seems less than what you've done for me.
Tell me, why do we not just march whole legion into Rome and push Lurko off throne? It has special chair for man in charge, does it not? Call it what you will. I am not bloodthirsty. I hope you know this by now. But when it is necessary to fight, you must fight. Rome is not as I had hoped before I saw it with my own eyes. There is so much squalor and suffering. In Wild, it is possible for man to have dignity, even in poverty. In city, this is not so. Change is nothing to be feared. Sometimes it brings improvement, sometimes destruction. But status quo is so destructive already. Anyway, I don't think I will stay here after we are done. It's time for me to face my past and move on.
Shall we store your weapons at the villa, as usual?
Are you sure? What makes you think you can win a battle of words against Lurko?
Certainly, but keep in mind he has enough evidence to condemn all of us as well. Even if we can destroy him and get him exiled, it may well cost us our own lives. Are you ready to pay that price?
We can die fighting. We can simply find him and kill him.
You're speaking of carrying out a coordinated assault on Rome and the Senate. It is no small task.
The difficulty of the task is irrelevant. We would need to cross the Rubicon with our arms and soldiers to achieve this. It would be a betrayal of Rome herself. Then let us stop considering it.
So that means we're taking our chances with the Senate.
It's the only right thing to do.
Fine by me. I believe in you all.
It seems you have reached a decision. Very well. For a moment I had my doubts about you. For that I apologize.
Right. Let's go celebrate that we all made it back alive. First round is on me.
You can't defend yourself on an empty stomach. Eat up.
A wise choice, Domine. Too much food induces sleep, too.
Now that you're back from another war, what do you want to do next?
Precisely. We can't afford to underestimate our opponent at this stage.
Cicero and I will meet you in the Senate tomorrow morning to prepare for the trial.
Speak as if your life depends on it. In many ways, it may. You should get some rest. Tomorrow's trial will require you to have your wits about you. Those who try to predict the future will only make a laughing stock of themselves. Those who are prepared for all eventualities win in the end. It was not only my duty, but my pleasure as well. Your father made me promise to take care of you, no matter what. Looking at you now, I can only feel pride. I just wish your father were alive to see these days. I've been through much, but I have to admit, these days I feel old. I think I want to see my homeland again. To tell you the truth, I feel like I'm ready to die. It would be nice to see Halicarnassos again first. Thank you.
It is a good day, my friend. I've been thinking. You've done the right thing by not crossing the Rubicon with the Legion. I'm sure it didn't. You're a person of great virtue. I've always known this about you. Callida was a bit preoccupied. She's concerned about Corvinus. You know that sneaky bastard is still unaccounted for. They won't. The Senate is a virtuous and wise institution. They'll see the truth of the matter. Cicero is probably the best advocate in the Republic, and he's the consul. But what do I know? I'm just a soldier. I hope you're right.
What's on your mind? Your cause is just, and I believe we can convince the Senate. However, our opponent is devious. That worries me. I worry that he will not obey the will of the Senate if the result fails to be in his favor. Will you obey the Senate if you lose? A rhetorical one. I knew you would give that answer. If it were not, our republic would be doomed. Those with the greatest power must be under the most exacting scrutiny. But to answer the question in the spirit I think it was asked, we have Cicero on our side, the second consul. This sort of situation is precisely why there are two.
You look concerned.
Children should never have to worry about their parents. Worry only about yourself. I'll be fine. That monster tore my family apart. Killed my husband and my dearest friend. I just hope they make him suffer.
That is a lovely thought, dear. But I'm not sure what he will do if he's no longer our servus.
he does not want to be a citizen. I don't think so, dear. Somebody needs to run the house, and I need to prepare a feast for our guests. His cooking is too complex, too flavorful, too Greek. Romans need Roman food.
You should get some rest.
We will have order in the Senate now! Debating the clarity of the augury will not be productive. The consul himself stands accused. Nothing could be of higher importance. Any other relationes shall be set aside. The result of this relatio again shall be decided per discussionem, and before the sun sets. You may continue, Consul, but please refrain from delving deeper into matters completely unrelated to our discussion.
Naturally. May I restate the necessity of using my actual title, Dictator, instead of Consul? Do you even know what Dictator in Perpetuo means?
The legatus has a point. Your title was granted for a limited time in order to solve a crisis. Even though the time has not passed, we can certainly say the crisis exists no more.
I beg to differ. The crisis has evidently not passed. It has merely changed context. Allow my colleague Senator Antonius to display with clarity how unprecedented and absurd this relatio is.
Dear Senators, first let us consider the source and the spirit of the regulation that allows us to appoint a consul to the position of dictator. And yet, despite all this, we somehow ended up here accusing the very man who was tasked with the prevention of this crisis.
Thank you, Senator, for this detailed and above all long explanation of something we all knew. Our memories have been thoroughly refreshed. If that will be all, we will finally discuss the evidence presented against the consul. Let us consider the preponderance of indications suggesting your involvement in the Mithridates affair years ago. At the time, You claim to have no knowledge of your brother's corrupt and treasonous activities. But it is clear now that this wasn't entirely accurate.
I do not like what you're insinuating. My brother died for his crimes, if you remember. Do you mean to say that he was wrongly accused? And then the Senate simply agreed with my unlawful miscarriage of justice? I find this offensive, both to the memory of my late brother and to the august institution of this Senate.
As it represents the will of the people, the Senate is quite obviously incapable of making mistakes.
Thank you.
But you did execute your own brother without waiting for due process. Just as his guilt wasn't for you to establish, his punishment wasn't for you to carry out. Do you have a counter-witness, Dictator?
I am the most important counter-witness here. Let me tell you my side of the story. Therefore, you cannot connect my activities to that war. In fact, it is fair to say my alleged relationship with Mithridates was only in the service of Rome.
Somehow, fair wasn't the word that came to mind. Shall we perhaps talk about the infamous invasion of Egypt?
Infamous is the correct word for it. The legatus ignited a war in a land that was already a province of Rome. He brought chaos and terror to Africa. The following unlawful invasion of Egypt caused the extinction of the Ptolemaic dynasty, all in service of unrealistic political ambitions. That was certainly a tragedy, but the Senate knows that was Ptolemy's doing. Indeed, that was the justification for declaring war in the first place.
I don't think either of you has any evidence to back these claims.
This has happened before, senators. The selfish enemies of our people supporting our foes by undermining honorable people like Vitellius Lorco. I will recount the story for the benefit of the Senate.
Must you? Once again, this was a completely unnecessary digression.
Once more, I must direct your attention to the utter lack of credible witnesses. Neither this legendary ledger nor the fictional accountant who wrote it are anywhere to be seen.
Then explain your presence in Alexandria at the time of the battle. Why would Ptolemy, who at the time was waging war against Rome, be on friendly terms with you?
I was trying to clean up the diplomatic mess created by your legatus. I wasn't. But in the end, I salvaged the whole campaign. Ptolemy would have easily killed you all.
I wonder how you know these things. So Ptolemy had no reason to keep you alive, yet somehow he did. Very interesting. Let us end by discussing the recent campaign against the barbarians of Gallii. You did kill members of the dictator's Praetorian Guard, didn't you, Legate?
Rightfully so. I only regret not doing it myself. It was they who attacked the legatus. They were slain in self-defense.
Will we listen to prisoners now? This man is a barbarian. He will say anything to save his skin. Absolute. Gallia belongs to Rome.
That is correct. He is not the king of anything. That doesn't mean he will not tell the truth. We're listening to you, fallen king.
Then I shall tell you how this man started a war between Rome and Gallia purely to make himself your ruler.
So you accuse the consul of Rome of falsifying a cause for war?
My people had no intention of attacking Rome. I had everything under control, until he came. So much blood was spilled for the ambitions of one man.
Thank you for your contribution, fallen king. Lictors, return him to the dungeon.
I see Senator Antonius has something to add.
Oh, right. I thank you for this opportunity to talk about the history of foreign leaders being represented at the Senate. First of all,
once again, thank you for your detailed explanation of this important issue, Senator. Shall we finally proceed to decide now?
We certainly shall not. The sun has set and a decision was not reached. I believe this relatio is to be declared undecided.
Under normal circumstances, a decision has to be reached by sunset. But in light of the overwhelming and damning evidence against the dictator, I believe this relatio deserves a proper decision. We reconvene tomorrow at sunrise for the final decision. This shall give the dictator a fair chance to defend himself. One final time. This session is at an end.
Let's wait until everyone has left, so we can talk to Cicero in private.
I admit, I was rooting for you. But you really did defend your case excellently. Tomorrow's hearing will be a formality. You've pretty much won.
What you're doing is unexpected, but admirable nevertheless. It seems you're not beyond redemption when it comes to the morality of your actions. However, I want to be certain that you understand the gravity of what you've done. You have murdered the Praetorian Guard of a sitting consul. There may yet be consequences. The Senate is made of men. It is as moral as the people who inhabit the building.
I think the risks themselves are irrelevant at this point. The Senate has been convinced of Lurko's guilt.
Despite his futile stalling, you've made it clear to everyone that Vitellius Lurko's war in Gallia was nothing but a power grab. Some of the senators do not possess the virtues required for the position. Immoral men are predictable, though. They tend to follow the winner.
It's best to refrain from mentioning these accusations unless we can prove them. Compared to the level of treason implied, the murder of 2 Romans seems trivial. Should he repeat his accusations of murder, it is my hope to use precisely this argument to shield you from them.
I will act as if I'd never heard these words.
We should only consider such actions as a last resort, for I believe our position is strong. After our work today, our victory is all but certain.
What do you have there?
Food for the legatus and his friends.
Let me have a taste.
It's for the Domini only.
My Dominus does not eat anything until I've tasted it.
Well, all right then.
Delicious.
That's odd. I haven't ordered any food to be brought here.
There is no eating in the Senate.
Oh, excuse me. I feel dizzy all of a sudden. There is an odd taste to this food.
Sit down, if you feel unwell.
I can't breathe.
the food was poisoned. Where did that sower go?
Stay with him. I'll get help.
Armed men have entered the forum.
We brought your weapons.
Man. He's dead. Lurko. I shall skin your back and lay you on salt. I shall feed your cock to street dogs.
Marlon! Grieve later, Bestia. They're here.
Make sure no one escapes!
Closer. I'll shoot as soon as I see them.
business. Deal with them!
We're nearly done. Go! Get the last one!
That honorless piece of shit! He got away!
Your mother is alone. We must hurry. Knowing Corvinus, he will either go there next, or he'll send someone for her.
He's dead.
I'm sorry. He was a good man. My friend. Your mother.
Meet us in the Regia when your family is safe. Our dear Pontifex, Maximus Aurelius Cotta, will be good to have on our side.
We have basically already won. This attack represents a clear legal victory.
Marcus, this is not the time.
Short arrows. The guards were attacked from afar. We may be too late.
They killed everyone. The villa is burning! Most of them already left. There are still 4 in the garden. She sought shelter in the study, just like last time. The consul himself? Certainly not. Should I inform the authorities? I shall run as fast as my legs will take me.
What a sight. How long do you think it'll take to burn down?
It'll burn long into the night, that's for sure.
Should we be worried about it spreading to the adjacent buildings?
Nah, that's not our problem. I'm more concerned about the proprietor showing up to put out the fire.
That posh prick already lies dead on the Senate floor. On the orders of Consul Vivius Vitellius Lurco, you are all under arrest. You're accused of murder and treason. Your sentence is death.
Since when do mere lictors have the power to sentence a Roman citizen to death?
Do not make this more difficult than it needs to be.
We really caught those thugs off guard.
If they expected mercy, they should not have started fire here.
Your mother is trapped in there. We have to get her out.
Use the water from the fountain to douse the flames.
Everyone, fill your water jug from the fountain. We have to keep those flames at bay.
anyone still alive? Help! Oh, thank Juno. Please, get me out of here. Everyone's dead. They had no mercy. They butchered the Serwi. Oh, I am bleeding.
You need help. Get her to a physician.
Of course I can. Everyone must hear about what happened here today.
Did you think they struck her by accident in passing?
Calada. Perhaps they were trying to incapacitate her. Or maybe they were merely incompetent. It's keeping us on the defensive. We need to regroup and strike back.
Strike two birds with one stone and take her to the Regia. Cato and Cicero are waiting for you there, and the Vestal Virgins can treat Claudiana.
You are alive.
Indeed, he has failed for now, but that only raises the stakes.
I could not believe my ears when Cato told me about Lurko's betrayal. This shall not go unpunished.
He will need to come up with a very good reason for doing this.
I'd like to see him try. I shall keep her in the temple. No harm will come to her. You have my word. Of course.
What if he comes back for us? I don't believe anyone close to you is safe.
Your faith is inspiring.
We need to seize the initiative. Corvinus can't be too far away. As long as he's in the wind, we can't be safe.
Maybe, but it'll take some time, and we don't have much to spare.
I know where he is.
Maybe I can ask some of my friends in the Senate. Lurko must have allies, and perhaps some of them know a few things.
Highly unlikely. Chances are not even Lurko knows where that man is.
I know where he is.
An augury might reveal his location.
Will we set a chicken loose in the streets of Rome and hope that it guides us to him? Hardly.
I know where he is!
All right, there's no need to yell.
He is at Campus Martius, hiding with a group of gladiators he has hired. We can go there and get him. These are men I have fought beside in the arena, who looked up to me once. I am certain. What if it is? Do we have a choice? He killed my magister. I will make no promises. Lucius Erucius Corvinus. We're here. Come out and play.
The entire ensemble is here. I guess you're ready for the final act. I have to admit, I'm impressed. I did not expect you to be able to find this place. This isn't the first time I've underestimated that Balatro. Taking out the old man wasn't my intention. He died in your stead. If anything, I'd say you killed him. Lurko has said that very same thing about you on many occasions. Pay no heed to his words. We work for the consul himself. Vitellius Lurko will ensure that no punishment of any kind will befall us.
We will tear that weasel limb from limb. Then there will be no one to protect you from the law.
I remember you, Tabat. We fought lions together in the arena.
Bestia Tabat. Now, no amount of denarii will make me fight you.
You're on your own, Corvinus.
closer. I'll shoot as soon as I see them.
that I need any help, but...
Don't worry, I'm here.
I will skin your face and drink from your skull.
A charming notion, but improbable. May I propose a different option?
There are no options. You will die now.
Or we can be sensible about this and keep him alive. He probably knows a lot about Lorco's plans. Besides, Corwinus is a capable and smart warrior. He'd be useful to us.
That is not acceptable.
Finally, we can stop watching our backs. Corwinus! You are under arrest for the attempted murder of this man and the actual murder of his service. You're coming with us.